You drop something on the floor and pause. Not because it's far, but because you know the floor can feel like another world. For a moment, the breath catches. The mind runs through small calculations, knees, hips, balance, pain. Will they all agree this time? Many people at 60, 70, even 80 know this pause. It's quiet, almost invisible, yet it decides how free you feel each day. In Japan, they treat that moment differently. They meet it every day. On soft tatami mats, elders lower themselves to the ground and rise again as naturally as a sunrise. It isn't exercise. It's rehearsal for independence. A humble, beautiful routine that keeps confidence alive. One calm descent, one steady return at a time. Because falling isn't the danger, staying afraid is. Part 2, Why We Lose the Floor, Extended Edition. It doesn't happen all at once. One day you kneel to reach a drawer and feel a small tremble. Another week you lean to tie a shoe and something deep in your hip says, "Not today." That's how balance fades quietly. Not through pain or injury, but through hesitation. The brain starts to doubt what the body once did without thinking. Inside your muscles, tiny sensors called proprioceptors begin to lose their rhythm. They're the body's timekeepers telling your knees when to bend your hips, when to follow your spine, when to brace. When those signals slow, movement feels heavier, less certain. It isn't weakness, it's lag. If we could see it in the Blue Lab view, you'd notice it instantly: green lines of communication pulsing between ankle, hip, and core, then flickering red where the signal stalls.
That pause. That's the same pause you feel before you reach for the floor.
But here's the good news: delay can be retrained. In Japan, it happens every day without anyone calling it exercise. Tatami living naturally asks the body to change levels, to descend, to shift, to rise again hundreds of times a week. Each small act tells the nervous system, "I still remember the sequence." And maybe you can remember too. When was the last time you sat on the floor without fear? Maybe to play with a grandchild or to fold laundry. If that feels distant, it's okay. That memory is still written in your body. You haven't lost the floor. You've only stopped visiting it. And like any old friend, it just needs you to say hello again. Because the truth is simple. Strength is electrical, not magical. The current just needs practice. And the Tatami habit is how you plug it back in. Part 3. The anatomy of getting up. Let's step inside the body for a moment. Every time you rise from the floor, a hidden orchestra begins. The ankles feel the ground first, the knees follow, the hips lead the melody, and the spine lifts the final note. When that sequence plays smoothly, you move like water. When it breaks, the sound turns to strain. Most people try to power through with muscle pushing harder, holding their breath. But movement isn't about power. It's about order. When the hips forget to lead the knees, take the hit. When the breath locks, the spine stiffens. That's how a small effort becomes a big fear. In the Blue Lab view, imagine green pulses rising from the heel to the hip like a wave. The glutes light up, the core hums quietly, the diaphragm opens. Now the body moves as one. That's what the Japanese call Shintai no Wa, the circle of body unity. Here's where the Tatami habit shines. It restores the sequence. You lower slowly, hips guiding the knees, breath releasing the weight. You rise with the heel pressing down, spine lengthening, eyes steady forward. It's not just movement, it's rehearsal for trust. And trust changes everything. When the brain feels a clean signal, it stops guarding. The knees stop bracing. The breath comes back on its own. Try this even now, sitting where you are. Press one heel gently into the floor. Feel the signal travel upward. Calf, thigh, hip, belly. That's the line you've been missing, the quiet power chain. Strength isn't something you rebuild in a gym. It's something you reconnect. The moment that current flows the body, remembers what freedom feels like. And from that memory, every movement becomes possible again. Part 4. The Japanese Way of Humility and Flow. In Japan, movement and meaning are never separate. Every bend, every bow carries a quiet lesson about being human. At dawn, elders step onto the tatami, not to work out, but to greet the ground. The mat is soft woven from rush grass, faintly warm from the morning air. Knees lower first, hands follow spine bows. And in that small motion, something ancient happens. The body says, I trust the earth beneath me. It's called Seiza, the sitting of respect. And though it looks simple, it is profound anatomy in action. The hips fold without force. The knees align with calm precision. The breath slips through the diaphragm like water under bamboo. When scientists study this, they call it low-load dynamic mobility. When the Japanese describe it, they call it kokoro no keihai, the presence of heart. Different words, same truth. Gentle rhythm nourishes both the joints and the mind. Notice how everything moves in circles, not lines. Arms swing in arcs, torso turns with softness, even the head nods in tiny waves. The circle keeps blood, fascia, and balance alive. Straight lines break, circles endure. Maybe that's why Japanese centenarians don't hurry their mornings. They give time for the circle to start turning. They bow to balance itself. Take a moment right now. Let your shoulders drop, your breath slow. Feel how gravity doesn't pull you down, it holds you. That's the secret the tatami teaches every day. The ground is not your opponent. It's your partner. And when you learn to move with it, not against it, aging stops feeling like loss and starts feeling like flow. Part 5. Your safe tatami protocol.
Now that you understand the circle, let's bring it home, gently, safely, without fear. You don't need a tatami mat or a studio. All you need is a steady surface, the edge of a chair.
A low bed, maybe the corner of a sofa. We'll move through 3 quiet practices, just 3, to remind your body what trust feels like. First, the supported descent. Stand beside the chair, feet shoulder-width apart. Place one hand lightly for balance, just enough to feel secure. Exhale as you hinge your hips back, not your knees, and lower halfway, as if greeting the ground from a distance. Feel your weight spread through the heels, steady, grounded. That's the body learning to share responsibility again. In the blue lab view, red knees calm to green as alignment returns. Stay for a breath, then rise slowly, drawing the inhale through your spine.
Second, the floor shift. If you're comfortable, come to a soft surface. From sitting, tuck one leg under.
Tuck one leg under, then the other, until you rest gently on your shins. This is the beginning of Seiza, the sitting of respect. Keep your chest lifted, your breath flowing through the diaphragm. You're not stretching, you're teaching your nervous system that low levels are safe again. Notice the rhythm of your breath. Exhale to soften the hips, inhale to gather stability. In blue lab space, amber warmth glows around the core, calm and sure. Third, the gentle rise. Bring one foot forward, heel grounded.
Press gently through that heel as you inhale, spine lengthening, eyes steady forward.
Let the hips guide the knees, not force, just flow. It's a graceful return, a quiet victory. Green lines surge upward through glutes and belly, ending in a soft light behind the heart. Pause there, breathe, Feel the quiet pride of being upright again. Not rushed, not forced, simply aware. You can do this once a day or once a week. Each repetition recodes confidence into your body. Not power over gravity, but partnership with it. Because independence isn't built in gyms, it's rebuilt in small moments, right where your feet meet the floor. Part 6. Floor to Freedom. A few weeks pass, and the same small moment returns. Something falls to the floor. A spoon, a book, a sock. But this time, you don't freeze. Your breath stays calm, your body listens, and the old hesitation never comes. You bend the knees, shift the hips, lower with ease, like you've been doing it your whole life. The floor no longer feels far away. It feels familiar, like a friend you finally called back. And when you rise, the movement is quiet, effortless, and steady. No rush, no grab for the wall, just a quiet, confident lift through the spine. That's the tatami habit at work. Not a trick, not a challenge, just the body remembering how safety feels. In Japan, they say the floor teaches humility, but what it really teaches is trust. Each time you kneel, you return to the source of your strength. Each time you rise,
You carry that strength with you.
It's not about
It's not about perfection.
It's about
It's about presence.
Take one more breath. Feel the ground under your feet. Solid, alive, dependable. That's where independence begins, not in distance, but in connection. So tomorrow morning, before the day pulls you forward, take a moment to bow gently toward the floor and thank it for holding you, for teaching you how to rise again. Try the tatami habit once a day for a week, not to prove anything, just to feel what changes. Notice how your steps feel lighter, how your breath feels longer, how confidence starts to move quietly beneath everything you do. If you've had recent surgery, or ongoing knee or hip pain, please talk with your doctor or physical therapist first. Always move within the range that feels safe and calm. And when you try it, tell us where you're from. Our community keeps growing people from every corner of the world, all learning how to age strong together.
Because strength isn't youth preserved, it's trust, renewed every single day.